And with that, I have started recording both Discord audio and my mic audio separately.
Oh, really? Are you actually recording your mic
going.
audio this time?
Yes, yes, I thought I did last time.
Wish you missed all the memes.
Oh, that's too bad.
Today was just a fun day of working on stuff while catching up on all the April Fool's content, because there was surprisingly a lot.
Oh, whooshy. I made 2 April Fool's Days videos. You're in one of them. You're mentioned in both of them.
I YouTube told me about a Metroid Dread video you did. I haven't seen it yet, but I'm really excited.
Oh.
Okay, but did you at least watch the one on the Arcanex channel?
That one I did see.
Let's go. Yeah, I was not expecting Wacko to just upload that. Like, I woke up, checked my phone, and I saw that. I was like, huh? What?
Yeah, it was great. Because Simon Cat mentioned, he was like, someone's going to make like the Simon Cat Situations Crazy video one day. And I was like, oh, it's going to be me right now.
I didn't think anyone would actually do it.
I'm not trying to start too much before we get recording here, but the direct is tomorrow, right? Like the big one?
Oh, right, yeah. It's tomorrow
What time
morning.
is that? Okay. I'll have to be there.
It's in 13 hours. Yeah, it's in 13 hours.
Okay,
yeah, I will be
good.
streaming.
So first thing when I wake up, I'll be able to see what's up.
It's an hour long. As soon as it leaves, as soon as it ends, I'm going to have to leave for school.
Right. Yeah, I'll be streaming with Lasagna tomorrow. So now you know exactly when we're recording this, April Fools.
Oh, have you started?
Oh yeah,
I mean, I started recording Discord audio, so why not?
Hi.
You guys can start.
April
You guys can
Fool-
start.
Wait, no, hey guys, this episode, Wooshy's not joining us.
Yeah, we're gonna miss him, but this is just how the cookie's gonna crumble, I guess.
April Fools, ha 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 ha. Okay, we can continue.
Yeah, you guys can start your own
I already
recordings. Okay.
I started recording and I just forgot. I thought we were still pre-episode conversation.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'll put it in the
Patreon only.
I'll put this in the video. Can you guys look at the thumbnail? I want people to notice.
What thumbnail?
The thumbnail of what and where do I look?
in Sydney for the live stream tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
See, Waka?
Oh, dude. You can't put the Smash Max. What is it with you?
I don't know why I found such good ways to hide it in everything, but I'm not gonna stop.
Why you go out of your way to torture me like this?
I'm like, Wacko.
It's always
something.
You can always just tell something is off, but you never know. You never know why.
Yeah.
I'll experience that through your stream though. Why not?
Yeah. Did we start or no? I guess we started now.
You're the host.
It's your episode, man. Hit us with an intro, maybe.
Oh, I got a lot to say.
That'll make things official.
And yeah, that's gonna be a great.
What is up, guys? Welcome to the April Fool's episode. You won't be seeing this on April Fool's, but we have Wacko and Wooshi and Simon Cat. There's the intro.
I am here.
Same.
Yeah.
Thanks to our very special guest, Wyatt Went Wacko.
Whoa, I'm special.
Yeah, he's our most commonly appearing guest, so good on you, man.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, how can you kick me off before you even kill me? Like, come on, guys.
No. We're gonna kill you and then kick you off immediately.
I see how it is.
And well, no, Wooshy's already been killed. He's still here. Woosh, we gotta kick you off.
When was I killed?
It's been
oh yeah, long. I was killed during the podcast.
You were killed in episode 5.
How do you forget when you died, Wooshy?
It was just I was having a rough day. You know,
To be fair,
I just
if
try
I
to forget
died,
about it.
I don't think most people remember that they died.
Yeah,
These are the
Like-
questions.
Ask any
Who
dead
knows?
person if they remember that they're dead. They're not gonna answer you.
that's true. That's
Exactly.
pretty. You're not wrong.
I'm not wrong.
Yeah, I guess we'll start with then. Not how was your bye week? How was your fortnight?
What? Wish you want to go first?
Bye week? I was dead for a second. Are we talking about that already?
Yeah.
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 Oh boy, yeah. So I actually got something to say this time. It's still still related to like ambitious projects, but not in the way of I've been animating on Blender. No. I mean I was just today, but that's not what I got to talk about because just this last weekend here, I went out to one of my buddies' house and. Over the weekend, we just did a ton of voice acting for his show that he's doing, and I'm not gonna say who it is yet because I don't know if he wants that to be public. It's not Cake. Fun fact, I don't know him in person, but yeah, it's a buddy of mine. I went to his house on Friday. We just kind of hung out, and then Saturday we had that entire day to voice act. So we sat down and voice acted for 12 hours straight, and it was really, really fun.
12 hours. Wow, Wushi in the studio.
Yeah, no, he had some nice microphones too. It felt very professional, even though we were just sitting in his living room talking into microphones. But his microphones were good because I could be as loud as I wanted, and they wouldn't clip, and that made me a significantly better voice actor than I realized I was, because when you don't have that mental block of like, oh, I can't be as loud as I want, you pretty much anyone is going to be a pretty good voice actor under those conditions. It was great.
Sounds awesome. Why didn't you invite me? I would have walked to your house.
It wasn't my house.
Well,
It was
If I
it
walked
was
to
a
your
buddy
house,
of
I'd
mine.
be
It was
most
my
of the way
first
there to
time
his
at his house. But he's got a few thousand subscribers, and he likes to do funny little cartoons, and I've been helping him write one, and then we
What's his
did
name?
voice acting for season 1.
is it the odd ones out?
No, a few thousand
Yeah,
subscribers.
this little YouTuber, you know.
Very small guy.
Well,
He's so
Yeah,
short.
I'll do more promotion for it when the thing comes out. I don't know if it's supposed to be public that he's doing something right now, so I'm just not even gonna mention who it is. But I'll tell you more as it becomes public.
you're getting me excited.
Awesome.
Let's go doing important projects. Funny that you mention the peaking mic, because I rewatched episode 1 of Arcanex. Well, I re-listened to episode 1 recently, and it opens with you with a funny microphone, and you're like, every time I speak, the microphone's all in red.
Yeah.
The reason I bring it up is because in the first episode, I think it was me. I forgot. Let's do it last night. I say that in episode 10, we're going to have a quiz about Arcanex, which is funny because we completely forgot, and in episode 10, I quiz Spiffy on Arcanex facts, which
Unintentionally.
was perfect.
There
Totally
we are
meant that.
talking about our show again.
Stop. Shush. Yeah, go watch that episode. It was a good episode. Unlike this one, because I made that. Anyway, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh yeah, is that your bye week, Wushi?
Yeah, pretty much. That's the important stuff.
Did you do any more walking?
No, it's been a pretty bad week for that.
Yeah, my area is cooled down. Well, it warmed up. So like I've been wearing short sleeves. It's actually really nice outside.
Can I go to your house and just walk around your town and not even meet up with you,
Yes.
just go back home?
Yes, you can.
I'm liking
okay.
a walk to. Well, I technically walked, but it was like raining on me and cold, and I went inside really early.
Was it heavy rain or light rain?
It was light. It was just a little bit of drizzle, but it was also really cold.
Really? Well,
Yeah,
I
now
like
that
light
it's
rain.
now that it's spring and it's not miserable outside, I have actually started walking. Like finally again. I've only done it once so far, but I'm gonna do it more.
It was like a couple years ago. I went to this amusement park, and what I didn't realize is that it was gonna rain that day. Should have looked into that beforehand. But it was actually really nice because we're there in like the middle of the summer, and there's this really light rain, so like we're cooled off. We're not sweating because it's like cool. It's not like too hot. It's not too cold. It was a nice, comfortable temperature because of the rain. It was actually really nice. I really like light rains. It's really comfortable. I enjoy it. It looks pretty. Thumbs
Yeah,
up.
I
Two
can
enthusiastic
understand.
thumbs up.
I can understand light rain, although I would prefer that in the summer maybe, or at least
Yeah.
when it isn't a little cold.
When it's cold, you're just miserable because you're cold and it's windy and cold outside and you're wet and it just
Yeah.
it's not great. But when it's like hot outside and you're slightly wet, oh, it's like in the breeze cools you. It's great. It's amazing. That's when it's
called
I'll tell you
atmosphere.
what though, it's not always great because when I'm camping in the summer, every single time without fail, it will rain and it will get all over the tent and your stuff. And I don't know.
okay.
I don't know what to do
Yeah.
about it, but it's
Yeah,
it always every
it's-
single time.
If
Yeah, it's
I'm
definitely
slightly
gonna-
wet, it's fine. But if your stuff's wet, ugh.
that
Sucks.
that reminds me of sometimes during summer camp of previous years it rains and sometimes it doesn't. But whenever it rains at summer camp, it pours. It's a huge storm.
Yeah,
And
exactly.
and everyone has to stay huddled
Fries.
in the lodge, except no one actually does. You'll have people who don't fear, dying, running back and forth around, even being by the lake when the trees are like gonna blow in their faces. It's really funny.
The amount
Oh.
of times I just been trying to fall asleep in a tent that's half collapsed is too many to count.
Yeah.
Me and my family used to go camping at should I say where it is? I'll say where it is. At Cape Lookout, which is a lighthouse in North Carolina, and it's on an island that you can only get to by boat, I think, or at least that's always how we got there. So we would like drive our car to the edge of the land, we'll get on a boat, and then like right over there, and we're isolated. We cannot leave because the boat doesn't come back, and we just camp over the weekend, and it was the best thing ever. And we haven't gone in years. And I haven't actually been like fully camped. Like I've gone like in RVs and camped, and I've camped in the backyard once or twice. But like I mean like full on camping
Right.
in the middle of nowhere. I haven't done that in a while.
That sounds a little bit more interesting than the times I've been camping, because usually I don't really like the whole tent stuff. I say I like camp. I don't like camping. I just like summer camp because you don't sleep in tents. You sleep in a cozy dorm. Instead.
You mean camping as in just like staying away from your house?
Yeah, I don't like having to sleep in a tent
In
and
a
all
tent.
and all that other stuff.
No, that's part of the fun.
I know.
Yeah. No, I get that. There is an appeal to just instead of sleeping in your house, sleeping in a different structure inside the woods. But I'm always down to go
Yeah.
out tenting, even if it's gonna rain all over my stuff and the tent is gonna collapse. It's always
Maybe I would
something.
maybe I would be okay with it if I had a Juneteenth flag as a blanket, but
I was gonna say. I was gonna
Well, I'll
reference
tell you.
that.
I'll tell you right now, you wouldn't be because it was very thin and didn't really do anything. But it's all we had.
it's okay. It'll be comforting regardless.
Watch episode 8 to learn what
That
it
was
is.
How do
eight?
you
This
remember
episode
what
was eight.
episode we tell
'Cause
these stories?
I'm remembering because 10 was Spiffy, and then Lillington was the guest before that, and the guest was 2 episodes before, and 2 episodes before is 8. Because we have a guest every even episode. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And then we'll have the next episode 12.
Yeah, I didn't remember we told that. I told that in that episode. It's just
Well-
a story I told on the podcast.
It'll be forever memorial.
Yeah, the only thing I I guess interesting camping story I have. May as well tell this now since we're on the topic. It was in 2021. We went down camping with some friends in a few states away, and a whole bunch of people started going on a walk, and I went with them until I didn't trust their navigation abilities, and I thought they were going to get lost. So I just walked back, and on the way,
And they got lost.
someone else asked me, which way did they go? And I told them where they went. It didn't see either of them for hours. And hours.
Did they get lost?
Yes, they did get lost. We had just assumed
Darn.
they had been eaten by the bears. And we didn't have any communication methods of talking to them.
That reminds me of this time when I went to the beach. I go to the beach a lot. My family was beach people, but I went to the beach with some aunts and cousins and grandparents and stuff. Actually, I don't think there were any grandparents. Anyway, my cousin, the infamous cousin, you guys know who he is. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna go walk onto the beach. I'm gonna just walk down that way, see what I find, then I'm gonna walk back. And then my aunt goes, no, don't do that, because you're gonna walk down there and then be tired and refuse to walk back. And he's like, nah, I'll be fine, I'll walk back. And so he does. He walks like an hour away, and then he calls me. He's like, hey, I'm tired. Can you come pick me up? And I'm like, no, we warned you. I'm not going to pick you up. So I hung up, and then I just sat there and watched Detective Pikachu while he tried to get someone else to go pick him up. And it was lovely. He did get someone to pick him up, by the way. But it won't me.
Yeah, we did. We didn't really have. Usually, we don't have service or have anything downloaded, so we never were able to watch anything. And instead, there were adults in the tent over from us, very much dismayed that someone brought Cards Against Humanity, and we were playing at midnight. So.
You didn't bring any Office Uno?
What?
You didn't bring any Office Uno?
We're gonna go camping with Smash Max, and we're gonna play Office Uno.
When are we gonna go camping with Smash Max? Friend of the show?
We're gonna plan it, okay? Smash Max
will
doesn't
plan
know
it.
about this now, but he will soon.
He doesn't know about it.
Did anyone know about this?
No,
We just
we're
invented
coming
it
up
right
with
now.
this idea right now. Although the Office Uno thing has come up before, because he plays that with his
Yeah.
family sometimes.
It's a Smash Max thing, apparently.
So now we're just, we associate it with him.
Clear. I heard Office Uno at some other point. I don't remember where. But I remember hearing. I was like, "Oh yeah, that's not a Smash Max thing." I don't remember.
Yeah,
I'm just making this up. Apparently, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah, my sister has received. I don't know why I remember it specifically. She has received various different versions and like different rules of Uno. Rule packs for Uno for like her birthday and Christmas and stuff. I don't remember a whole lot of them except Uno Dare. Have you heard of that?
No, I can guess what it is.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
It's like the draw, that meme where you draw 25 or do this. But the regular prompts are pretty boring and safe, family friendly dares. But there is I think it's encouraged to come up with your own dares instead. It's probably not frowned upon
Are
by
there like blank
the
spaces?
game. Are there what?
Blank spaces.
What do you mean blank spaces? This isn't a
I
board
think I
game.
have played this. No, there was this. It's like a card game where like the card is draw something and then it's just left blank, and you could draw it in your own answer. Like
Yeah,
that?
I think that's what it was like. Yeah.
I remember.
Sweet.
I don't know what I was playing specifically. I remember I played an Uno where you kind of write in your own answer.
Ooh. I feel like I don't know where I did, but I feel like I have. So that was a great bi-weekly conversation about just Wooshi. I don't know how we've span off from this.
Wait, Wacko, did you say yours or no? I guess you didn't.
I did not answer the question. We just started talking about camping.
Yeah.
My bye week has been pretty cool. I got a couple things to talk about. I'm just looking at my desk. I have a Bowser amiibo up here, which I've had up here because I've been playing Mario Odyssey, and the Bowser amiibo lets you cheat, and it tells you where the purple coins are. Thank you. And it's been sitting here because I've been playing it, and I beat it. So I gotta put it away. I'm cleaning off my desk, one amiibo at a time. It is the only amiibo on my desk.
Let's go.
But what's more interesting was if you saw the video that came out today as recording this, the April Fool's video on my channel, go check it out. It's great. Smash Max just promoted it in his channel, which is thank you very much, Smash Max. Great guy. In that video, I wear a name tag at one part, and so I have like a package of them, and I couldn't buy like 10. I had to buy a package of like 100. So I was like, well, what do I do with these? And then the other day I saw this YouTube short, and it was this guy that said, when I was in college, I used to wear name tags because, like, as a social experiment or whatever. And he said that it made him more social, and people came up and talked to him more because they knew his name. And I was like, I'm doing that. It sounds stupid, and that makes me want to do it more. And I have the name tags. So every day, I've been wearing a name tag that has my name on it. Which none of you call me by my first name, but everyone at school does. And it's been amazing.
Hey, Spiffy. Welcome to the show.
Well,
Wacko.
we're recording the podcast. Hi. Hello?
What is it?
Never. Wait. Sorry. Oh.
Huh?
Oh, I thought Spiffy saw the one part from the one episode where we were like, "Hey, you should invade one of our episodes."
No, I think he just went to join call and didn't know we were making the podcast. Whoop. Anyway.
I was like, what server is this?
He was telling me something. I want to know. Anyway,
Yeah.
name tags. It has led to so many great interactions. Cause like half the people are like, "Why are you wearing that? You look stupid." I'm like, "Thank you, I love that." And then half the people, like, didn't notice, and so I could play some great jokes where like I go up to somebody like Tuesday. I went to my grandma and I was like, "Hey, I bet if I walked up to everyone in this building, they'd know my name." And she'd go, "What? How would they do that?" And I just really looked down at my name tag, and it's great. And, like, just fun stuff like that. One time, me and my brother, his name was Aubrey, friend of the show, we went to Burger King, and there was this dude in there. And I was like, "Aubrey, watch this." And I walk up to this dude, and I go, "Hey, what's my name?" And he's like, "I don't," and he looks down, "Oh, Corbin." I'm like, "Yep, I'm Corbin. See, I'm famous." And I look at Aubrey, and I'm famous. And the guy goes, and the guy looks up, and he goes, "And that's Aubrey over there." I'm like, because apparently he knew us, and I did not know that. So then we look stupid.
Yeah, you got jump scared.
I
don't
got
know if you
jump
deserve
scared.
that or no.
I do deserve that. Oh, my dad's here. I said before recording that my dad was bringing me Chick-fil-A for dinner. I didn't know this till like right before we started recording. So, yeah, name tags are great. I'm gonna go get my dinner. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go
Yeah,
claim your prize, man.
Yeah, I had forgotten to say that I might get a call too. So if I mute and get a call, you will know why.
Everyone's got places to be.
As far as the name tag thing, he did get a quite a funny joke out of it, because the video's been in production for a very long time, of course, and I won't spoil it, but let's just say you gotta pause and read it all. It's one of those
Good to know.
jokes.
Good to know. I haven't seen it yet. I don't know if we were recording when I said that. I haven't seen it. I'm really excited about it because this is like the first video Wacko's made where I have notifications on. So I'm not gonna miss his videos anymore.
Yep. Yeah, I will say I was not expecting what the video was, because it's very much a twist video that you don't expect what it is. I mean, it's April Fool's, but once I realized what was going on, I couldn't stop laughing the entire way through.
Jeez,
I
the
only noted.
anticipation is crazy.
Yeah, I only noticed what was happening by like the second, like, let's say 3 or so minutes in.
Very interesting.
You'll absolutely know.
I'm sure I'll figure it out sooner than later upon watching it, but I'm excited.
I'm wondering if Wacko will be back so I can tell him that I I'm a little disappointed that I now remembered that I actually saw that same YouTube short as that he did.
You saw what?
The same YouTube short that he did, that the whole thing that inspired him to do the name tag thing.
Oh. So he saw a YouTube short that made him, that gave him the idea for the name tag thing, and you just found it unrelated to him?
Apparently. Well, he didn't make the short, but yeah.
I need to hear more from Wacko on this. I need to hear Wacko's take on this situation.
I mean he said it earlier, but
Oh, he did. Oh, okay. I need this guy better get back with his Chick-fil-A.
yeah, you better tell us how tasty it is.
Yeah.
Wacko.
Yeah. What's
Wyatt.
Up? Wyatt.
Wyatt.
Yeah,
it's like the soundboard sounds.
Yeah, can we get soundboard of both of us screaming Wyatt? I think there's a lot of situations where that could apply.
It's like the jump scare from George's live stream where he says money.
Very true. Oh, you know what? That laugh just reminded me of something, because that laugh I struggled to get out, and that was because after voice acting on Saturday, my voice is still a little bit dead just from 12 hours of voice acting. Like my voice was lost after that session. It was wild.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought that 12 hours would do that to a man, but it does.
Well, yeah, 12 hours, and also I was constantly fluctuating between a bunch of different goofy voices. There was only one character I did that was my normal voice, because I played multiple characters too. I was in every episode, and it was a lot.
Hello.
Oh, there
Hey, just in time, he's back. What was it we were gonna tell him, Wushu?
I don't know. Doesn't matter.
Okay. Yeah, I was
How's
just
it
gonna.
going,
Oh
Wack?
yeah, that's what it was. I was gonna tell you that I'm pretty disappointed in myself for realizing that I've seen that exact same YouTube short that you did.
You did?
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Yeah, it's good. Oh, Spiffy DM'd me, by the way. It's about my April Fool's video. It's blowing up against like all the people I know, but only people I know.
Very good to see.
Yeah. Very great. You
Chick-fil-A
deserve it.
is
I mean, I haven't
delicious.
seen the video, but I'm assuming you deserve it. I've heard good things.
Wacko, what did you order from Chick-fil-A?
I got a spicy sandwich.
Yo, same. That's what I get every time.
Usually I get I love their Polynesian sauce, so I usually get strips because it's easier to dip. But if they had spicy sticks, that'd be great because the spice is delicious.
Yeah, do you like the special sauce they have? Because a lot of restaurants have, like, their specialized
Chick-fil-A
sauce.
sauce?
Yeah.
No.
It's not my favorite. I liked it for a while. I haven't had it recently, but...
Yeah, I think we got some in our fridge right now. I don't use the whole lot, but it's there. It's fine. It's all right. I'll have some.
There
I
are
think I'm an
indeed
idiot.
better condiments, like mustard.
No,
Yeah, I'm down for some mustard.
mustard sucks.
This is the new thing we're gonna bring up.
I was wondering why the chicken sandwich tastes like pickles, and I realized that there's pickles on it.
It's a chicken sandwich that tracks.
I don't like pickles. I'm gonna eat them anyway.
Okay, that's even worse than the mustard thing.
I like the
Look,
pickles. Wait,
mustard?
wait! You're saying you don't like the pickle? I like the pickles on it.
No, I don't like pickles. I want to like. They look delicious, and I've tried multiple times. I've just never liked any, and it
Wacko.
makes me sad.
The reason pickles look delicious is because they are. You realize that?
Yeah. They actually do go great with mustard when you have that on a burger. Like they clash well with the.
I'm gonna stab
with the
all of you
mustard.
people.
I'm being real with you. Like that's like that's always like a standout burger experience. Is like the mix of the pickle and mustard
Yeah.
shining through.
It's like double the sour flavor. It's really good. But yeah, the thing about putting pickles on sandwiches is whenever I do it, it's the most delicious thing ever. And I'm like, I should do this every time I eat a sandwich, and then I still somehow forget.
One time I went to Burger King because I had a friend that works there, and I was like, if I'm coming to Burger King just to see my friend, I might as well eat something. And because I've never gotten it, I'm getting the Whopper because it's like that's the thing that they have. And I never had it before. So I walked up to the counter because he was there. And I was like, hey, I'd like to try Whopper. He was like, okay, what kind of cheese you want? I was like, I don't know, whatever on the Whopper. Okay, do you want mustard on it? Whatever comes on the Whopper. Do you want pick? I do not care. I just want a Whopper. He was trying to be the best employee, and I didn't want him to be at that moment. But eventually, I got my Whopper, and I tried it, and like, typically if I get a burger, I get nothing on it because it's fine. But like, if I get a burger with stuff on it, usually everything's fine. I don't really taste it. It just kind of blends together and makes like a satisfying burger. Except pickles. Every time, I can taste the pickle, and it just throws me off. So the only thing on the Whopper that I took off were the pickles.
I'm all about putting as much stuff on sandwiches and burgers.
Yeah,
as I can.
yeah. If anyone's picking anything off, and I'm eating with them, I'll take that off their plate and put it on my thing, and it's even better.
Yeah.
Like, I usually have to specify that I don't want tomatoes and onions because I don't like those, but everything else, I'll take it.
Okay, I'm neutral with tomatoes. I'm fine with people not liking tomatoes, but man, I am down for some onions on my thing. Just load me up with everything it comes with, maybe even more. That's my kind of thing.
It's strange because some people just don't like tomatoes, but everyone loves tomato sauce and other tomato such things.
Yeah, it's because tomatoes aren't that good, but I'll eat them if they're there.
I didn't forget what I was gonna say. I don't remember.
Well, remember it, because if I wasn't speaking right now, there would be a little bit of silence. So you better.
You reminded me, because you're the one that said the thing that made me think of it in the first place. Everything on the burger. Ugh, you can hear me swallow in this video.
Chewing ASMR.
So, nom. Oh goodness. So, I love bacon. Bacon is delicious. And so you're like, oh, a bacon burger. I don't taste the bacon on a burger. Like, it's fine. I'm not gonna if you put bacon on the burger, I'm not gonna turn it down. But it costs more and it doesn't taste better, so I never get it. Cause I don't know. Barely anything adds to a burger to me. Like I'll add like mayonnaise sometimes. Sometimes I might add lettuce. But then like the only thing that adds anything are pickles, and it adds a bad thing. So plain burgers taste fine.
Okay, I agreed with you with the bacon. Everything else was a load of nonsense, but the bacon is true. It doesn't really add a lot.
I had this.
Bacon's good though.
I forget where I had this recently, but I had these little sausage bites wrapped in bacon, which is the most American bundle of grease I've ever seen.
Yeah, American, just a good American bundle of grease and calories.
Yeah.
All
That
our
is
favorite
They're good, though.
details. I'm sure they are.
Yeah. So
They're really good.
that was Wacko's Fortnite, I suppose.
These are really good.
So
Oh,
I
what
don't
can
really
eat?
have
Nom, nom.
all that much that happened. As usual, I'm just working on various things. It's kind of a regular week, except for one thing, which was that I got accepted into a college. That's pretty
What?
crazy news.
Yeah, no, that you're. I was about to think that there's not even a point to you contributing to this topic, but that's that's something there. That's pretty huge.
I mean, I don't really think there's a whole lot we can say about that right now. We wouldn't talk about it as long as the others, but it's still pretty big
Tell us the
news.
exact college and the address of the college and how long you're gonna be there and what dorm room you're gonna stay in.
All right, now that's a little much.
My buddy just yesterday was, or 2 days ago, was trying to sell me on going to animation college, and I said no, because that's not how I want to do that.
Right.
Because it's easier and free to do it.
I've been
by yourself.
thinking a little bit. Obviously, I've considered this greatly. I think a little bit of the reason I wanted to go is just the safety net of being more likely to be hired for supposedly more likely to be hired for stuff, because doing freelance is not as easy as it sounds from what a lot of people have been saying.
It definitely is like the more consistent, like sort of safe option, and I'm not gonna deny that. I just I don't know what I want to do with my art is kind of contribute to the idea that if you have the talent, you can make cool stuff on YouTube without going to college for it. But you know, it can kind of just go either way. I don't think one
Right.
or the other is inherently better. That's just what I want to do.
Right, all the cool stuff I make on YouTube will still be cool stuff I make on YouTube. College is for the money.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So that was something that happened. There's something else I was gonna say, and then I forgot about it. Oh well.
Wacko. Take on college.
What's your thoughts on being a college student, Wacko?
Dude, he does not want to go to college.
Wacko, what happened?
Yo, Wack.
I think he's gone.
Maybe he's talking right now and he's not connected, like internet-wise, and he's recording all
know.
this. Maybe his side will make it into the episode. That'd go cool. That'd go hard.
Yeah, if there were any time to cut something out, it would be now. It's like, Wacko? Oh, well, that's awkward. Wacko?
Wacko.
Oh, Wacko.
Whack. Whack.
Come out wherever you are.
Yo, Whack. Get out here.
Ready or not,
If-
here I
if-
come.
I don't care about being entertaining right now because this will probably be cut out if he doesn't come back soon. Wacko.
What?
There he is.
Wacko, what were you doing?
Oh, I finished my Chick-fil-A, so I went to go get rid of the trash. I was hoping that I could leave and come back and no one would notice.
Oh, we noticed.
No, I asked you a question and there was just silence, so we spent the rest of the silence saying Wacko.
What was the question?
Take on
What are your
college.
thoughts
We were
on
talking about
what are your
college.
thoughts on being a college student?
Oh. I was thinking about this today, actually. So, I don't want to go to college, cause like, I enjoy making stuff for YouTube, and like it's really enjoyable. And so like, what is the meaning of life? Is it to make money or is it to be enjoyable? Like, I don't think I would enjoy going to like a full-on university for 4, 8, how many years, just like get a job that pays well, and then my enjoyment being from this hobby that I could be doing the whole time. So like, my perspective is get rid of all the stuff that I'm gonna hate going to college. It's gonna be boring. I'm gonna be stressed out the whole time. Get rid of that. Get a job and do the stuff that I enjoy doing, and maybe maybe I might not make as much money, but I don't have to go through any of that. So like, it just seems easier, and I don't need a bajillion dollars. I just want to be fairly comfortable, and I think I could be fine working anywhere, because like I've been very beneficial. I've been very lucky in life that I'm not starving or anything.
Yeah.
So like, I don't need a bunch of stuff. I'll just get a job with at Walmart or whatever. I'll work at Food Lion. That's a grocery store. My cousin works there. I'll work with them. It'd be great. And then I'll do the cool stuff on the side. And if the YouTuber stuff is successful, fantastic. If it's not, that's fine. I'm still happy. And I'm not stressed out. And that's what I want to do. And it kind of sucks because I've been in community college and I'm supposed to transfer to a university. And everyone expects me to, but I'm not going to. And so I feel like I'm going to let everyone down. But it's fine because I'll be happy.
Right.
Fine.
Dude,
no one
Yeah,
needs to know.
that plan is ideal, yes.
You just explained my exact plan and my exact thoughts on this with a lot more words than I did. But that is the exact same situation I am, and the exact same plan that I have for my future.
See, originally that was what I was going to do, but there were certainly some factors that tipped it over the edge going the other direction. The one being, like I said, it's
money.
It's a lot more stressful to constantly not know if or what your next job is going to be.
Yeah, if your job's gonna be freelance, then I'd get it. My job's not gonna be freelance. I'm gonna work somewhere and then do like freelance stuff on the side.
You would do freelance and have another possibly full-time job as well, but like I don't necessarily have confidence in that's going to be, enough money.
Yeah,
Usually
the thing.
interior design.
I think your situation is a little. I would also be probably looking into colleges in your situation, but where I'm at right now, like the stuff that I'm into, the thing that I would love to do for money is animation. I love making 3D animations. I have every single test animation I did, I loved every second of making it, but I don't want to do that for the industry. I just want to do it because I like it. So I'm not going to college for that. I'm just gonna do what I can for work and kind of just make stuff for myself.
Because I'm also have that kind of mindset, but I don't necessarily want. I don't want what I make money from to be the thing I'm most passionate about necessarily. Like, I still obviously want to be passionate about it, but I don't want to have what I like doing start feeling like work.
Mm-hmm.
I like intentionally make my hobby feel like work, which might be a problem for me, but that's what makes me work well.
Right. Yeah, because doing it that way, I still would, of course, be passionate and enjoy it, but I still want to have some other creative outlet besides work.
Yeah.
And
I don't like. I wouldn't want to do animation or whatever as a job, because like I enjoy making stuff, and doing that as a job would be great if I was doing it for myself. I ran a YouTube channel or something like that, but I would enjoy it at least. But if I'm like doing animation for a studio, I'm not getting to choose what I draw. I don't get to make the stories. I'm only doing the hard labor part of it, which is the boring side, right? Like, if I'm going to get into coding and make games for Nintendo, then I don't get to make the games that I get to envision. If I'm going to get into editing and I edit for Joe Frederick or whatever. I'm not editing my videos. So like, I feel like I enjoy these hobbies, but doing them as a job for other people would remove basically everything that I enjoy about them. So, I'm not gonna do that.
Right,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I don't think I wouldn't blame someone for thinking that way, but I also don't think it's like the worst thing in the world, especially if you have your own stuff you can find time to work on as well.
Yeah,
But
it's not the worst thing in the world. I would just like prefer working at like McDonald's. I don't know.
I also just feel like I would, in terms of work, I'd rather do like physical labor because if I'm gonna spend so much time on animation, I have to get some activity going on.
yeah.
So that's I wouldn't want to have my main the main amount of time I spend to be just sitting down at a computer and making funny cartoon characters move, but that's something that I want to have time to do and like do for myself.
Cuz
Yeah.
the other tipping point, or the other factor, the main one, was pretty much just the social aspect. It's like, you never know, really, if you're going to have all those kinds of opportunities later in life, like what kinds of opportunities you'll have for that kind of thing. And college is a pretty surefire, chance for socialization.
To meet people.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was a pretty appealing factor to me as well.
That's
I
true.
get that. It's just like you're throwing a really, 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 really expensive party.
I
And,
know. I am aware.
Yeah.
But it just kind of depends on what you think is worth it, and how confident you are that what you're
Everything will work out.
that everything will work out. Because I am not, which is why I'm going to college.
I mean, yeah, I got a buddy who's going to college for. I got multiple buddies who are going to college for animation. I think that's great for them. I think that's gonna pan out really well for them. That's just not where I'm personally feeling. I'm not really feeling that for. Like I don't see that getting me where I want to be.
Right, because if I could have because ideally if I were more confident in being able to handle the other choice, ideally I would choose not going to college every time, but just decided.
Yeah. And I hope it works out for you.
Yeah.
Tell us how it goes.
This depends on who you are.
I'm
Again,
sure,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah,
an
there will-
inherently
It's
good or
There will be
bad
there will be
decision either way.
updates, because we started this podcast at quite a point in all of our lives. So
Yeah, I personally think that's a good appeal to it. Just three men transitioning into adulthood.
What?
That was a weird way to put it,
What?
but that's kind of.
Why would don't take a pause there.
That's the stage of life that we're all in at the moment, and it's something to talk about. I think it'll be an interesting appeal. I'll tell you what.
people should do studies on us.
We're a case study. The Arcanex podcast is a case study. Are you going somewhere far away where you're going to move, or is it close enough that you're still going to stay home?
Oh, I'm going. It's in the same county.
Okay. So you're moving in.
No.
Okay. Sweet. That means you're going to be here on the podcast still.
Yeah, I briefly considered, because Ventus was showing me and talking to me about it. A brief, just, it's a kind of a joke, funny option, but may as well look at it. Ventus was showing me the college he goes to. It's like, there's some benefits to this. I was like, oh boy, I could be a foreign exchange student? That sounds awesome.
Dude, I wanted to be a 40. I want to go like visit Rock and be a foreign exchange student in Britain. It'd be the coolest thing. But also, I could just like go to Britain. That would probably be easier than attending college in Britain.
Going to Britain sounds... I mean, there's really not much of an appeal to me for that
Meeting my grandma?
besides meeting your grandma.
We could eat. No, dude. If we're in Britain, we gotta like go to France and Germany. We gotta eat all the French food, all the Italian food. We gotta eat pizza. We gotta get the pizza.
And eat none of the
great.
British food.
What are we gonna eat? Beans on toast? No, we're not eating British food. We're eating the Italian food and we're eating the French food. Ooh.
We're going to pack our very aggressively American meals when we're in Britain. And we're just gonna eat that.
We just come up with the PB&J.
let's get a date, dude. Let's go to Britain. That's where
Arcanex goes to England.
This is an opportunity waiting to happen.
Do you I don't know if Simon Cat saw. I don't know. Wushi definitely didn't. But they were in the Creator Hub. A bunch of people were arguing about Britain stuff. Mostly it was like Auntie and Attaboy and Rock. We're talking about Britain, and it's specifically like the way you say things. I forget why, but I mentioned that. Oh, Attaboy Adam said that his accent was the best British accent, and I asked him, "Do you say book like Rock does, aka book?" He says book. And
no one says it like
that.
Not even British people. No one says it like that.
Yeah, if you say it in like a British accent, like, I really like this book. Like, that's, well,
I don't like it.
That sounded a little
it's
British.
Strange.
When I say it in a
that's how
sentence
Rock
in
says
a
it. He's British.
accent, that's like, book.
Rock
I
was
love this
Rock
book.
was a little strange case.
Auntie got so mad because, like, so many things happened, and what ended up going to was Auntie said that book isn't spelled or isn't said like book. That's wrong. He said it was pronounced like buck, B-U-C-K, and I was like, no, book is not pronounced like buck. And then like for like an hour, he was just yelling to everybody, no, it's not. I'm saying it right. I'm not crazy. And it was the strangest thing, because like. I want to record it for him, but I couldn't record it for him. There are 3 ways to say it. You could say book, buck, or book. Those are 3 ways. And Auntie did not realize there were 3 ways, and it drove everyone crazy. And that is the only reason I'm afraid to move to Britain, because I'd be closer to Auntie, and he might kill me.
Sounds like a British problem.
You know, book sounds, honestly, to me, sounds more Canadian, or like Minnesota.
Yeah, it does sound Canadian. Because they say, like, boot. I guess boot is a regular pronunciation. Never mind. I think
What are you talking about?
I don't know. I don't know. That's what came to mind.
About.
A boot. That's what it was. They say a boot. Okay. I'm not insane. I just forgot the
They also pronounce boot like boot, though.
Well, yeah, because that's how you pronounce it.
Those weirdos.
How dare they say boot correctly? We've offended so many people today. Let's offend more. So about those like pork, those like bacon wrapped sausages. You know, some cultures don't like pork. Let's offend them, please.
How? By eating it?
Let's tell them to eat it. If we tell them to eat pork, then they'll get offended that we're saying that.
Or just talk about how yummy our bacon wrapped sausages are.
All right, we're pushing our luck.
Hey guys, listen. Mormons, coffee's delicious. You should try some.
Yeah.
Coffee's terrible.
It totally won't send you to hell.
It totally.
Tell you what though, coffee is kosher.
Okay, so the Jews can have coffee, but the Mormons can't.
Can have Coke. The Jews can have cocaine.
I forgot, was that a real thing that Mormons can't have coffee, or did we make that up?
I didn't make that up. That's real.
Okay.
They can have mac and cheese, but not coffee.
Oh yeah, that was our own misinformation.
This
but
is
they
the third
they cannot have
episode.
coffee.
We talked about Mormons.
We're not missing an episode. It's our new thing.
Yeah, we're
Sweet.
gonna just have to change the name of the podcast to Top of the Mormon to you, not even the
That's the
one
thing
episode.
I
at this
wanted
point.
to mention. I don't know if I should mention it on the podcast or off, but do you think we should change the name Arcanex?
To what? Over the
I don't know.
evenings, like someone suggested.
I do like that name, but it like something more. Arcanex seems too serious. It's Arcanex. You know, like the Netflix show Arcane, which is basically the same thing. That's a serious show. It's not a comedy.
I mean,
but this podcast would probably be best described as comedic.
I mean, we probably could change it, but I think I interpreted it as we just took the name and we still have it for the bit. Because
Yeah, the comedy
guess.
comes from the fact that we just stole the name from a group channel that died.
see,
A
it
group
is
channel that
funny.
I've invaded.
Yeah.
Mwahahaha. I win.
Exactly. So, I did actually have a topic prepared.
I was gonna say it's been an
All right.
hour. We haven't
Yeah.
gotten to like the actual topic. We talking about camping. Oh god.
Let's
So,
hear it.
memories, right? Childhood
Uh-huh.
ones. Like very early.
You've done this shit
childhood.
before.
No, we haven't. Well, we have.
Yeah, because you
but-
asked us if you could do a memory test. I was like, oh, are we? Is it remembering something or is it about our memories? You're like, it's about memories. I'm like, oh man.
So you both told the only memories you have.
Yes.
We can farm more content out
I
of
mean,
this.
this is a good reoccurring topic, but if I knew it was coming back, I would have prepared one. Now I'm gonna have to be thinking here.
If I knew we had to be remembering stuff, I would have remembered it
Well,
already.
I guess.
Okay, well,
Yeah. So
what are you
this
remembering?
this was not. Maybe I didn't explain it exactly correctly because
it's
this is
fine.
This
What are we
is-
remembering?
This is less about specific stories and more so just what are details, like interesting details that you remember about your early childhood.
Ooh.
Okay, that is an
Stuff like that.
interesting one. I still have to think about it, but that's an interesting one.
The earliest memory I think I have, and I think it's the earliest, but like, I had to ask my parents, is this the earliest? Because I don't know when this was, but it is on vacation at somewhere, don't know where. There was this house that had like a second story, that then had like a hallway across, like the ceiling basically. So like, you know, like a balcony, you can look up and there's a balcony, and it's like, there's no floor, and you just like see down to the first floor.
Oh, I love those
It's like
houses so
that.
much. I've been in them a few
It's
times.
like that, but it was a hallway that went from one side of the house to the other side of the house.
That's very
like-
interesting.
It was interesting, and I remember that we stayed at that house, and I had a one-piece pajamas, a onesie, and it's the only time I ever had a onesie, and I remember, and it was the best day ever, and it had a cool little hallway up top that had no walls, just had railings, and it was cool, and that's probably my earliest memory. I don't remember what we did. I don't remember where we were, but I remember I remember that house. I remember my onesie.
I gotta go to this. I gotta go to the second store of Animal Crossing for this second story.
I see that.
my earliest memory is a lot less interesting than that one. I was in this baby room that I'm sitting in right now, and I had to pee really bad. I must have been an actual toddler. I don't remember when this was, but I decided and it's funny because I remember my specific thought process as if I had thought it right now, even though the thought process makes no sense. It's a really interesting feeling. But the thought process was, I have to pee. I don't feel like going to the bathroom. It'll dry up. I'm going to pee on the floor right now. And I have this very vivid memory of me peeing and just a circle of pee forming around me getting in the carpet.
That is the most whooshy earliest memory I could have that could possibly exist.
Did your parents like that?
I don't remember what happened afterwards. I just remember it might have
Oh.
even been a dream, but it's like the earliest thing I remember.
I had a similar thing happen to me actually. Do you guys sleepwalk?
No.
Nope.
Okay, I don't either. I have sleptwalked. I have done a sleepwalk once in my life when I was a child. I was probably like 6 or 7 years old, something like that. And I don't know what I was dreaming, but in the real world, I got out of bed and I walked to the top of the stairs and I pulled my pants down and I just peed down the stairs. I do not know why I did this. My mom got out of bed and grabbed me. She's like, "Stop! Wake up!" And she was very mad. It was not fun.
She called you wacko?
She did not call me wacko.
That's more
Sadly,
whooshy than
she could've
whooshies.
called me wacko.
Yeah. Wait, so
I'm whooshy.
something that I kind of want to elaborate on more because I think this is really interesting. Like I really do just specifically remember my thought process when I was peeing on the floor, as if I had been thinking it like yesterday. And it's like,
Were you thinking it yesterday?
like obviously now I know it makes no sense to pee on the floor, but I also know what it feels like to think it makes perfect sense to pee on the floor. And I think that's really interesting.
Whooshy. I think you're covering up. This is none of those like whooshy cover-ups where this is something that happened to him yesterday. He's trying to make us think that it didn't.
Do you guys have one of those?
Recurring
Like, do
theme?
you remember like your specific thought process when you were a child and know that it doesn't make any sense now, but you also know what it feels like to think it makes sense?
I've
Not
had that
particularly.
happen. It's something like that happens in my dreams all the time. Where,
Oh
like,
yeah,
I'll be
it's
in
a
dream and
very
I'll go
big dream
somewhere.
thing.
Someone will be like, don't go in the Babanchian forest because that's where the fire monsters live. And I'm like, oh, obviously everyone knows that. And I feel like it's one of those things that everyone knows. And then I wake up and I'm like, nobody knows that. That's not a thing. And it happens all the time. It's messed me up a lot. It's weird.
Oh yeah, there are some dreams where people just use the wrong words for things, and it makes perfect sense in the moment. I know exactly what they're talking
Yeah.
about, but I when I wake up, it's like that conversation was complete gibberish.
Yeah.
I know.
Did
It's crazy.
Did either of you guys live in the same house for these earlier memories that you do now, or no?
I've always lived in the same house.
Okay, yeah, I've known some people like that.
I've pretty much lived. Oh, I moved into the house I lived in
Right,
when I was
right.
like 3, and I stayed in that house for my entire life, other than like the early years, so I can't remember. And then I moved out recently, and now I'm on my own. Yay! It's great. Whooshy, come visit. You can walk around. So I don't now, but like I go there. It's my parents' house, so I go there all the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I've lived in 3 houses. There was this one, which I've been in since 2019. There was one.
Oh.
There was one like 5 minutes away, that I was in for a while, and then there was another one in a different state that made up the earliest of my early childhood.
A different state. Ooh.
Yeah, I wasn't born in the state I live in.
Fancy pants, Rich McGee.
Yeah,
I say as I've moved out.
Right. Yeah, we moved to where I am now. I assume to be closer to family.
5 minutes?
Because we were in the other state. But yeah, the thing about that house, living in there for the first 4 years of my life is I'm able to very distinctly categorize memories from early childhood to later, because it's in 2 completely different
house.
settings.
That actually
Yeah.
would be really helpful. Mine kind of blend together. I just know the P one is significantly earlier than any other memory I have.
Yeah,
Because it was yesterday.
the thing is, I don't actually know which one is the earliest, because I have a lot of specific memories from that house. One of them was probably a dream, but I'm still convinced it's not.
Dude, I have a recurring dream location from when I was a kid. That like I still view as a place that I used to go to all the time and associate positive memories with. But it was like a waiting room, and I don't know what it was a waiting room for. I don't know what was gonna happen once we were done waiting. I never got to that part, but there was like toys and stuff, and there was like cool stuff there, and I don't know. It was all I associated it with positive memories, but it was entirely a dream location that I had conjured up a few times.
You got the doctor's office.
Did you go to my dentist? Dude, my old dentist office had like giant blocks in the waiting room, and they're huge. And I used to build like castles out of it and like tunnels you'd crawl under. It was the coolest thing. I loved going to the dentist just to play with the blocks. And I don't go there anymore because they're like a pediatric dentist. But my dad's informed me that my sister started going there, and they removed the blocks.
Dang.
And now I'm very sad.
Why
would they do that?
But since you mentioned the place that's probably just a dream location, but it's still real, is
it was a dream of my dentist office.
Yeah, it was actually more so what you would probably expect from a dream, because in my mind this place is like 10 minutes away from that house, and it's like you know those, because where I used to live was fairly like mountainous and hilly, so you know that like those places where their houses like really far back in the woods. Yeah, it was one of those houses, but it wasn't just any house. It was a huge cool tree house.
Ooh, what?
Yeah, it was this tree house that I remember walking up the stairs into, sitting in the kitchen and eating something. I don't remember. And then I remember there were friends there. Have no clue who these people were, so again, probably a dream. But I went back downstairs outside into the driveway, and the only other thing I remember is that it was a very cloudy day, and I was told to go back up into the house because it was starting to rain. And then I opened the mailbox, and there was just a snake in the mailbox. Again, like those events sound like a dream, but in my mind, this was just my friend's cool tree house that I went to.
It doesn't feel like a dream, but you know it has to be.
Right. Because I wasn't even old enough to go to school until I had already moved away. So I didn't have friends.
I didn't. Oh my gosh.
That's cool. I really love the
weird.
feeling of like.
Lonely.
I really love the feeling of just not knowing for sure if something I remember really faintly is a dream. I enjoy that feeling a lot for some reason. Just not knowing what's reality and what's not.
You enjoy that? That's like a thing people like have nightmares about.
Oh, it's nothing crazy. Just like, just like something insignificant. Like it's just it's a cool feeling. It adds a cool level of mystery to life.
If it's something like that, then it's fine. But if like 30 years from now, I started to forget, like, wait, was spaghetti a real person? Then I think there would be some trouble.
No.
But like you don't want dementia.
Was it actually a real person?
Yeah.
Or was I speaking to my pasta?
Yeah.
I'm not like talking about like, oh, I have dementia,
it's
but
different.
it is such a cool feeling.
Right, because you actually remember that. Like, it's weird that you even remember that dream to begin with.
Yeah.
But But yeah, and then, of course, the story after that point was, of course, just moved to the state I live in now, and then started going to the youth events and stuff because I'm homeschooled, and that's where I met all the friends I have today. And
Wow, you met me and Mushi there?
yeah, I did.
That's true.
I don't believe you.
And there are a bunch of other random stuff I'm sure we could get into, but I didn't even get into any real memories from that 4-year period. Which is,
Yeah, you too little to actually remember anything.
no, I do remember stuff from it.
No, you didn't just mention any.
Right.
I should have been too little to remember the pee thing, but it's like the only memory. I guess it stood out to me.
But the thing about it is that I didn't what am I trying to say? I don't actually remember like which was the first memory, like what the sequence of events was. I just have a bunch of various things that happened. Like I'm pretty sure I told the calling the police story, where I called the police. I don't remember that one. My mom told me that one happened, but
Well, you called the police?
did I
That
not tell
sounds
this on the
familiar
podcast?
That sounds familiar after you clarify your mom said it happened, but I don't remember the story itself.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was. I don't know if this happened on the podcast or not, but of course, like a lot of kids, I called 911 on the phone because I was a kid, and then as the cops were on our way, my mom wanted to make it seem like everything was all right and nothing was wrong, so she told me to go outside and we were just gonna swing on the swings outside and nothing was wrong. So
You say like most Mushi, did you call 911 when you were a kid?
Yeah, no, that kind of stood out to me too. Is that a classic childhood pastime, calling the
Is it?
police?
yes, it is.
I've never heard
Okay,
of
maybe
that.
maybe not for you guys, but usually a pastime when you're older is just going around and all right, what was your calling 911 story? Because a lot of people I've talked to have them.
Dude, no. Simon can't. No.
Is this just a thing in your state? Do you call the police a lot of kids there?
I don't know. Something in the swamp water. But yeah,
Darn.
that wasn't even like I said, that it wasn't even one I remembered. Cause I remember I can still remember the exact layout of the house, it from the interior and exterior. Like I remember there's this campfire in the back of the woods behind it. There was
Did you use it?
yeah, I remember we used it. There was there was a second story. It's the only house I ever lived in that had a second story, and ever since, second stories have became a huge, like, just fascination thing for me. Like, I want a second story. I really
Come
want a
to
second
my
story.
house.
That's why I'm
Come to
excited
I
to go
always
to your
see that.
house, Wacko.
I would always see that in TV shows as a kid. Like all the characters have sleep in the second story, and I was like, that's a thing.
Yeah,
Wow.
like having a bedroom in the second story of a house fulfills the most basic, just childlike joy.
Curiosity?
Yeah, just childlike joy. Like in me,
I get that.
yeah. So
One
every
time-
time I actually get to do it, I'm very excited.
One of my family members' houses, what house I used to live in, they don't live there anymore. It had like a staircase at one part of the house, just like for you to go up and down. But also, if you go to a different part of the house and open this closet, there was like a hidden staircase that went up, and it was the coolest thing ever. Even though it was like just another staircase, it was like, oh my god, it's in a door. This is the coolest thing ever.
Yeah,
I loved it.
There's so
Good.
much.
I've had a lot
Like
of
a
stuff
snow
like
day.
that, and I can't think of a single one, but I know the exact feeling you're talking about. And that happens to me. At least happened to me a lot. Just a lot of normal things in my life that kind of, or just things in general that are like, this is, yeah, this is the coolest thing I've ever experienced here.
Yeah.
It is.
So I remember the layout of the house. I remember
Nothing else.
The only two games I remember playing were Wii Fit Plus and Mario Kart Wii. There's a little fun tidbit. Let's see what else.
Do you remember living there?
Yes, I remember. I remember one. The only reason I remember this is because there is a picture. And
Well, you don't remember it, do you?
there was my sister and I would hide under the tables, the kitchen table, and just sit there and laugh to each other. Typical kid stuff.
That sounds great.
Let's see
I
what
like
else.
hiding. Hide and seek is one of the best games.
Dude, my grandma's house is a great place for that. She's got like a big house and a big property full of old vehicles. There's a small patch of like woods in her property. There's like
Oh,
there's
yeah,
a
I
ton
could-
of sheds and stuff.
I
It's a
could-
cool
Wushy
place to play
reference?
hide and seek.
When I was really little, I could fit under my bed. It was the best place to just like hide. And then I got older and I couldn't fit anymore. And then I moved out and got a new bed, and now it's big enough that I can hide under it again, and it's great.
Yo.
I love it.
I haven't hid under my bed in a while. I got a mattress under it, but I could fit in there if I took the thing out.
Do it right now.
Take the mattress. I don't. There's not a lot of room to.
I don't
put the
care how long it
mattress
takes.
away. I don't really.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, I don't really feel like jumping through all those hoops and then cleaning up after myself when I'm done.
No, but it's for a podcast. It's okay.
Yeah, for the audio podcast. So pretty much what the viewers would be experiencing is like I'd be a little further away from the microphone and saying, I'm under the bed.
Do it right now. Just pretend you're under the bed. They won't notice.
All right, yeah, I'll replicate the experience for you guys. I'm under the bed.
Oh my gosh, Fushi's under the bed.
Yo!
How'd you get under there?
I actually did go as deep under the bed as I possibly could have with the mattress under me. Didn't get too far.
Was it fun?
It
Was it
was. I
worth
might
it?
take the thing out and play under there when I'm done.
It's great. Hiding under the bed is better than like anything adults do.
Yeah, you're not wrong.
We should do sleepovers. Why don't adults do sleepovers more?
I'd still do sleepovers.
Simply, we
Well-
could, but we decide to go back to our homes after a while for some reason.
Not Wushi. He's not a part of this.
You know, me and the boys, we still stay at each other's houses all the time. It's not really
What?
an
Wushi, stay at my house.
Childish activity, really. Dude, I would love
Wushi,
to.
come stay at my house.
I
You can
would
stay on the second
absolutely love to. Dude, I will literally do that if given the resources.
I will pay you.
Dude, and
How much it cost? Like $5?
yeah, that's a little more than that. but-
Going right?
Actually, Wacko,
Tell you what,
is your bedroom on the first or second story?
My bedroom is on the first story,
that actually does
but I
give
have a
me
guest
like
room on the second story.
something that gives me something I completely forgot to mention about my Fortnite. I finally got my my learner's permit, so I'm allowed to drive with a
Yo!
licensed driver over 21. And
Yo!
after I get enough experience with that, I can get my normal license, and I'll be one step closer to being able to meet up with you guys.
We love to see it. Wushi on the road.
That's right.
How long-
And I'm
okay,
not
thanks for,
learning
like-
on a tractor. I drove a
Aww.
van. I drove a van this time.
Was it green?
It was white.
Aw.
You drive the white
Wushi,
van?
you
Ventus would be. Ventus would not have.
Do you
would
know
have none of
the?
it.
Do you know the country song "Big Green Tractor"?
Yes, unfortunately.
No.
Unfortunately,
I just have
unfortunately,
my sister playing it way too much.
I feel like I
That's
should know
fair.
about this, but I don't. I do have
You
that
should.
experience of a family member playing too much of one song. You getting completely
I was that
sick of
family
it.
member.
Wacko, you're a problem.
There's also
Okay,
there's also a song
I understand.
that they listen to now. My sister listens to now that has a frequently uses the word boondocks, and now I can't, I can't stop laughing every time I hear it.
What's the song? Is it the Boondocks? Is that the song?
I don't know the name. It might be.
How's it
Dude,
go?
I think I don't know.
Two of my buddies
I asked
recently.
you. I for
Two of my buddies recently
Couldn't-
decided that the Boondocks is really funny, so I've been hearing a lot of that outside the community lately, and it's unnatural. I'm used to only hearing about that from this community.
oh boy.
Yeah,
It's spreading.
it's really weird, but when like you hear something from a different you hear something mentioned in one friend group that's a really big thing in another, like that's always weird.
Yeah, hearing
Yeah.
people say "umbauta" in person throws me off.
I'll tell
Hearing
you-
people say like "wacko" in person throws me off.
I'll tell you a big example about this, and I can say this because this isn't public information who it is exactly.
Who?
But Ventus, I think it was, and I think I told this story before, but it's on topic, and it's a big example. When I first met you guys, and we were talking about how Shadowflare, friend of the show, was on Odyssey at
Yeah.
the time. Ventus sent
yeah.
a picture of the Odyssey front page, and someone that I know in person is his channel was just on there, and that's actually the same guy I did a ton of voice acting for.
That's very interesting.
What?
I think you've told before, but it's worth reiterating because of how it's just funny that coincidence is.
You mentioned
Yeah,
it,
it
in
was
the
crazy
last
because
episode.
he's not that big of he doesn't have a big internet presence. He's a small. Maybe his Odyssey channel is huge. I don't know, but it's crazy that
I
it was
think
just
Odyssey-
right
He's like
there
one
on
of the
his,
only
like,
two
front and
people.
center.
I think Odyssey just has 5 people, and just on Shadowflare is one of them.
He's one of them.
Yeah.
Sweet. You got any more questions for us?
Well, I guess if that's all we have to say about that question for now, we can absolutely revisit it later. But
Yeah, I'll be thinking about it this time.
yeah, I do have one final Simi Cat question.
Oh no.
Oh, boy.
I'm hold on. Let me hover over the leave call button.
We've established what the tropes of our questions are like, so now we can play into them when we become caricatures of ourselves as the show goes on, like any good show.
Was it Flanderized?
Yes, Flander. Yeah, I think that's the term.
But this show isn't written, so it's better.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah,
you guys don't script out what you're saying?
well, that's the thing. If I were,
You forgot to
'Cause
send me
I-
the script, so
'cause
I'm
I-
going freestyle.
Aw.
I've thought about making a lot of things, but making a scripted show is definitely the thing that, even if it makes a ton of money, you don't want to keep it going for too long. Otherwise, it will always get worse.
Yeah.
There are 2 things that turn a really good show, property, and anything that's really good at the start.
Property?
Franchise. There's two things that turn it from really good at the start to worsening quality, and it's of course just going on, and especially a combination of main directors, writers are just gone, they leave, is another huge contributing factor usually. And usually it's because those
have you guys
people
seen-
they have the mindset of, well, it's making a ton of money, but I don't want to keep working on it anymore, so they sell it.
You guys know Avatar?
Yeah.
The Last Airbender?
I'm
Yeah.
aware.
Everything after the first show was bad. right? Pretty much all of it. Core was fine, but it's not as good as the original. Nothing else is good though, which is weird because they've worked on all of it.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
that does happen.
I mean, yeah, sometimes
It's
you just strike
sad.
gold and you can't really. It sounds that's a big fear of mine. Like I make one thing that's really really good, just on accident, and then I don't know what made it so good in the first place, and then
Oh
my
yeah.
next thing is just
Yeah,
nothing.
every
Like, how'd I
time
do
every
that?
time someone like praises something about anything I've made, it's always not what I expect. I'm like, what? That was good. That was good. What? Yeah, I'm like,
Yo,
wait, how do I
Simon
do, how do I
Cat,
do more of that?
The one frame is great of that one video that you did that one time.
I don't know what you're talking about off the top of my head. I feel like I should,
Nothing. I just made nothing. That's nothing.
but with you it is, because like I knew exactly what was gonna happen the moment you switched your OBS to the live stream in the April Fool's video that released today.
Yeah. Watch out. Watch the video. The video on Arcanex before this one. It's great. It's a total deconstruction of Simon Cat's character,
And I do it again.
and he'd do it again.
I tried to comment that on the video, but then YouTube kept deleting it. So
It
I
went
gave
through
up.
eventually.
Oh, it did? Really? Nice.
Yeah.
Have we started talking about the final question yet? I forgot.
Oh yeah.
No, we haven't. We haven't.
So
I couldn't remember if the final
I-
question started that conversation.
I brought up the we'll become caricatures of ourselves thing, and we started talking about that.
Oh yeah.
So the final question is, should the different versions or releases of Tetris be considered different games or not?
Bye, Woosh. I'm leaving call.
Goodbye.
You know, that's something to that's an important discussion that's worth having. I think it's
Hey, Wooshy.
it's all the same
Hey,
game,
now,
but it
hey.
shouldn't be counted as it shouldn't
Hey,
be
no, we're
counted
trying to leave
as hey Wacko, it shouldn't be counted as like Tetris being the best selling game because
I especially agree with that because
Oh my god.
the one person we were having this argument with was really trying to get us to define
Wyoming.
our terms. Yeah, Wyoming, and it did help. Maybe not in the way like we expected it to, but once we understand where each other were coming from, it was a lot easier to formulate why we
Coming?
thought the way we did about it. And
Okay, you know what? Wooshy.
Mhm.
If we're getting into this, Wooshy, do you you know how Minecraft and Tetris are like fighting to be the #1 best-selling game ever?
this was
Yeah.
the crux of the argument.
And you're saying that the Tetris releases should be counted separately?
Yeah, for the most part, I suppose. I'm not sure how
Do you
similar, like, because every Tetris game is kind of built from the ground up separately, right?
Yeah. So would you count every Minecraft version as well? Separately?
Yeah, because that's the thing about that, because Minecraft Java Edition and Minecraft Bedrock Edition are two different things.
That's what I'm saying. Because people always try to like count all the Minecrafts, but then say, "Oh no, you count Tetris separately." No. Either you count all the Minecrafts and all the Tetrises, or you divide them both. You can't have it one way or the other. It's either both or neither. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I tried to bring up that within the like the gaming circles we're in, I'm sure if you asked most people, they'd say that Tetris, all the many different Tetris releases are different enough to not be separate versions and to be their own games that their sales should be counted separately. Like people will say that, and then you have but then those same people will say that purely based on vibes that all the Minecraft versions are similar enough to each other that they should be
Drives me
the same
crazy.
game. Like it's
Drives me crazy.
Wacko points out that it's not exactly the most consistent logic, which is okay because
All I'm saying is that they're being inconsistent. That's all I'm saying, and I'm right. They are.
because I He won the argument. He's convinced me that
I
win.
win! Yeah,
It is inconsistent, but at what cost?
There was no Well, Cake might have been a little frustrated with me, but I still won. That's all that matters. Right, Wushi?
Yeah. I wasn't there, but I'm sure you did great.
Well, let's reenact it right now.
Tetris is a game.
No, you play it.
What?
And
Tetris is a game.
Your rebuttal?
It is sure
Okay,
is, Wushi.
okay,
You know what? That's a good point. I never thought of that.
That's actually more
So I
accurate
win.
than you're giving him credit for because Wyoming was like, what is a video game? And Wacko was like, this is stupid.
Well, no, it is stupid because one, that's not how words work, and two, my point isn't that something should be considered a game. It's that two things are contradictory, right? Like if I said A is B and you went, well, what is A? It doesn't matter. A is B. Like if we are agreeing that both Minecraft and Tetris are the same thing, not the same thing in the sense that they're the same, but like all versions of Minecraft are kind of like all versions of Tetris, as in like they're in chunks, right? It doesn't matter what a game is. Whatever a game is, it either applies to both or neither of them. So what a game is specifically doesn't matter. All we know is that it's either both or neither. A video game could be like a potato. You could define a video game as potatoes or something like that, and that applies to neither of them, right? So again, it's both or neither, no matter what game means. That's all. So it was pointless to answer.
Yeah, I'm not a super logic, like I understand logic, but I'm not beholden to it. I'm not a super logic oriented person. So it was.
I am.
Right.
I love this. Can we talk more about logical problems? Let's talk about what it means to be a human being.
Is that a logical
My
problem?
solution is usually
It is.
My solution is usually just the easiest way. So it's sort of a logic thing. Like mainly just like gonna avoid making a big deal out of anything at any by any means necessary. That's sort of my approach to any situation.
I think the smartest way, the most logical way to approach that is to realize that you can't answer the question of what it means to be human purely based on logic. You have to open up all the other methods of human thought to that as well because of how complicated it is.
It's philosophy.
Right.
No,
well,
yeah,
philosophy is
but the thing
logic,
is,
but there's a lot of other stuff too. Philosophy.
No matter what your argument is, it has to be logical. So, like, if you said the thing that makes humans humans is that they have skin, that's stupid. So does everything else.
Potatoes have
if
skin.
you say humans are humans, but cats aren't humans, then you're being illogical because you're drawing a needless distinction. You're being contradictory. That's illogical. So logic applies to everything. And this is why I love it, because like no matter what it is, if we're arguing anything, whether it's politics or religion or philosophy or whether Tetris is counted as one or multiple
like
games,
politics,
right? Yeah, semantics. Oh, I love semantics. Is water wet? I love semantics. Like a big thing in it is evidence, but just as important as evidence is logic, right? So you could have a million sources, and I could have not a single source. But if your sources are illogical, it doesn't matter that I have no sources because you're still wrong. And I love that.
Suppose so.
Just the idea
This
that
is great.
there's an objective truth to everything.
Oh, but Wushi, there is an objective truth.
Logical fallacies. I took a class on that in school. It's very helpful. I don't really need to use them all too much in my day-to-day life. But when I do need to use them, they're helpful. Would recommend learning them.
When?
What do you mean?
I've memorized so many. It's wonderful. Yeah. Red herring fallacy, the straw man fallacy, steel man fallacy? That's not a fallacy. The steel man arguing tactic. That's smart. There's a bunch of stuff. It's great. I love arguing. Let's do it more. Hey, Wushi's water wet.
We already did that one. We can't reuse my semantics questions and make Wacko leave.
There's plenty of things out there that'll send me on a passionate rant, and this question isn't one of them. I don't have strong feelings about is water wet.
So AI art.
Yeah, that's not. I mean, I can't tell you about. I do have opinions on it. It's just it's a tool for me to have fun with. Nothing
Right.
more, nothing less.
Right, it's the kind of thing where if you're listening to this, you already know why it's mostly bad and shouldn't be considered actual human art for obvious reasons.
Actually,
but
this is
some
interesting.
people, believe it or not, there are people who need to hear that. So
AI art, as much as like I don't like it, and most people don't like it, I will say most people who are against it have illogical arguments as to why. I said it.
I agree
said
with
it.
that.
Thank you. Wish you're the man.
Yeah.
I suppose so, but I don't really.
Yeah.
But I don't really think that matters all too much when like.
No, it does.
Well, it's
like if you're saying we need to ban AI, you're like why? Because it's taking jobs. So has every advancement in human history.
right.
That's
it's
stupid.
Like if you're saying we need to ban it because it will take jobs, that's not the angle you should approach it from.
No.
But
That doesn't make any sense.
But I think obviously appeal. A lot of people rely on appeal to emotion, but just from a philosophical standpoint, and you do have to use a little bit beyond logic to you have to use a little bit beyond logic to prove why exactly it's bad.
I think everything you need is beyond logic.
Right.
Because you usually can't logic yourself out of an argument because you do need some evidence. You know, like if you're saying it's bad, you can't logically say it's bad without some kind of baseline for what is bad, and that requires evidence. Like if I say that killing children is wrong, well, why? Well, I have to establish a baseline that killing things is wrong, and then say children are things or something like that, right? But if there is no understanding that killing is wrong, how can I prove that killing children is wrong if you don't think killing is wrong? I can't. It's impossible. You have to have some kind of baseline of evidence. So like evidence is needed.
It's the kind of thing that like people should. It's the kind of thing there should be like an animated. I could easily see like an animated Pixar style movie being the most effective. Honestly, in our culture, being the most effective way. Like have the villain represent AI art and have the story be good and like you see what I'm saying, right?
Yeah, make it like a metaphorical villain.
Yeah, like actually do some serious explaining as to all that stuff, and I'll
I
help
don't
people
think
understand.
that would work.
It wouldn't like
'Cause,
work.
like-
It would like people would like it. It wouldn't stop
it'd be a good
it wouldn't stop
movie.
the billionaires, but
No, I don't think it'd make you like convince anybody because either it's exactly like AI art where it's taking stuff from people and using it for themselves, but yet it's not physical stuff; it's just like creative stuff. In which case, you're not going to convince people because you can't just show them AI art and tell them it's bad. They're going to go, no, it's good, right? You know, if you can't show them Thanos, like people thought Thanos had a point, right? You can't show them what they agree with. It's exactly the same. I expect them to disagree with it. No, they're going to agree with it because it's exactly what they already agree with. So you have to change it slightly to make it more evil. But if you change it slightly, so instead of it's art, you're showing like I don't know their kidneys or whatever, then they're going to go, well, that's completely different because it is completely different. So there's no easy way to do that because it's a very complex topic with very specific things.
The way I look at it is like it does look, it looks good. Like it's always good looking art, even though it kind of messes up sometimes. But I think what kind of separates it from human made art isn't how it looks. AI, I'm sure AI is gonna replicate my art style. It's gonna make it look way better, and that's not really what it's about to me. Because it's really just like art exists because we want to make it. If it's not made by a person, then it's it kind of defeats the purpose of art existing in the first place.
What if it's not meant to be artistic?
Then it looks good, and that's all that matters. It's not really what I'm talking about.
If you're just saying, yeah, I'm gonna make this art thing to hang in a museum, yeah, that's human because like you want to be artistic. But if I'm like, hey, I'm gonna make this website and I want like these banners on the side, I'm not like showing that off. I'm just like adding color basically, filling in a gap. But if I did that, people would be like, oh my gosh, using AI art.
And I honestly like if people are gonna use AI art that way, I don't really. I'm sure this isn't the opinion that most people have, but that's not really my problem if people want to use art that way.
Lucy is pro AI art. Cancel.
I just think it's inherently kind of lame in the sense of it wasn't created by a human that wanted it to be good.
Have you seen the YouTube channel Austin McConnell?
no.
Was he the guy who made a children's book out of AI way before AI was a big deal, big thing?
I don't think so.
I have vague memories of that.
I can try looking it up, see if I find something. He did do an AI thing, and he made this book, and then to try to promote the book, he turned the first chapter into like a short like movies type thing using a lot of AI art, and people got really mad at him, and then he made this giant video explaining why he did it and kind of just like defending himself, and great video because it's very logical. And this should have been the topic of the video. But I like cited it in like a college essay that I wrote because I did an essay on AI,
and he was very convincing. And he pointed out that a lot of the arguments against AI were illogical, like taking jobs is stupid, and like that's kind of made me think. Because like before, I was like, AI art stupid, and I watched that, I'm like, is it? Because I'm a person who likes to be very logical. So if I'm thinking something, but then I can't even figure out why I think that way, then maybe I shouldn't think that way. And AI art is one of those things where like I look at it and I don't like it. I'm like, no, it's stupid, it's lazy, it's not creative, it's gonna take people's jobs. And I think about it for 5 seconds, and I'm like, so?
Well, have you considered that maybe it's not a maybe have you considered maybe this isn't a very logical issue to begin with?
It doesn't have to be logical. Oh, yeah, you're right. He is the guy that made an AI children's book, by the way. It doesn't have to be logical. It could be moral, that it's morally wrong to do something. But I don't view the same moral. Like, it's immoral to take their jobs. But then manufacturing took, like, handmade jobs, where, like, instead of making things by hand, you make them in a factory. That took jobs. But yeah, I don't think factories are immoral. So clearly, it's illogical. I'm being
people
inconsistent.
saying it's going to take jobs is not why it's bad. Clearly.
I know. That's just an example of, like, if I think this is bad for a reason. You know, a moral reason. If my moral reasoning isn't consistent, then how can I rely on it?
Have you seen the Arlo videos about AI?
No.
I know he's mentioned it. I haven't heard him, like, go into detail.
Yeah, he is, of course. You know, you appreciate him for being an extremely logical guy who.
Yeah, I love Arlo because he's one that goes into logic. He doesn't just say things are bad. He like thinks about it logically. I love him for that. Great dude. I would go to ArloCon if I could, but it doesn't exist anymore.
Yeah. He's made a few videos about AI, and it is like quintessential. Recommend to anyone. Is the best explanation of why it's bad.
I look up Arlo AI. You know what the first thing I see? AIs are going to replace jobs.
Cut that out.
You could not have been worse thing to see. Darn. That's great.
Okay, but that's a title. You watch the video.
I know. I will watch it. AI is one of those things that, like, it's a very touchy subject, and having any sort of slight positive, like Wushi saying, oh, I don't care if it's used for a banner sign because it's not being artistic or whatever. That people would not like that. They are against AI art in every way.
Yeah.
And I think, like,
I don't think it needs to be.
I feel like if you're being too
it does
harsh
not
for no
need to be
reason.
banished from existence. It has its place, but I think like Wushi's perspective is completely fine.
You know, there was this video, and it's a video by what's his face? Who's the legend guy?
The legend guy.
Carl Jobst. He's that guy. Do you guys know who Carl Jobst is?
No.
Okay, Carl Jobst, he talked about speedrunning mostly, but he's also talked about some dramas. He talked about The Completionist. He's one of the guys that exposed him when he was like, charity fraud. He's that dude. Really cool dude. Also very logical. Does lots of research. Knows what he's talking about. Smart dude. I would marry that man if I want. I'm not going to. But point is, he didn't make he has not made an ad video, not that I know of. He made a video years ago, and it has stuck with me. Not even because like, it was a smart video or whatever. It was a good video, but just because like the concept of what he talks about. He's such a great like philosophical point, which was not intended, but that's why I took it. Where it was, it was some like old FPS game. I forget what it was. Might have been like GoldenEye. Might have been, I don't know, something like that. Probably, I don't know what it was, but it was in the video. He talked about the speedrunning of it and how they discovered that if you look down, the game doesn't render what's in front of you because you don't see it, and so the game runs faster. So speedruns have you look at the floor so that the game moves faster and you can run around faster, right? So the fastest way to win is to stare at your feet, and it looks boring, and it's not fun to play because you can't see what you're doing, but it's technically the fastest. And when they discovered that, so many speedrunners dropped out because it's one of those things that you can't not do it, right? With other speedrunners like Mario 64, you can have different rules. Like in this set you get 1 star, in this set you get 0 stars, in this set you do no glitches, etc., etc., etc. But you can't have a rule to not look down because like, well, how much can you look down? What if you look down just a little bit? What if you look down for a second? What if you look down to shoot something? Like it's impossible to make a rule against it. It's just something that once you discover, you've ruined it all and you can't go back, right? AI is that, where once you've discovered it, you can't undiscover it, despite the fact that it may be like art may be more fun without it. You can't go back, or if you can, where's the line, right? Maybe is making an AI reference okay? What about making an AI colors? What about where do you draw this? And you can't draw it, and it's like you hate it, but you can't go back, and you can't really argue to go back either. It's just something you got to deal with now.
Right. You can't. But it's the kind of thing where if most of society is on board with just feeling icky about it, there's probably a good reason.
Is there?
Yeah. And of course, the main reason is because it is not the taking away our jobs, because that's just fear mongering, but the whole misses the point of art. It's not human at that point.
I think taking jobs is for the most part, I think it's stupid because like if it does take jobs and it doesn't just fine, then that's just an improvement. I don't want to say it's an improvement, but like again, all advancements to do that. But like at some point, a lot of companies are going to try to use AI where it doesn't work, and they're going to try to replace people, and it's going to be bad. Like with Joe going to Wingstop.
Yeah.
And there's a story that was not told on the podcast, but Joe hates Wingstop because he called them and they had an AI voice and I didn't hear what he was saying or understand what he wanted, and it drove him crazy, and then how he doesn't go to Wingstop. That's the shortest way I can put it. But like that's the way that like they're trying to force AI in a way that doesn't work, and so like they're going to try to use it to save money, and that's going to take jobs in a bad way. That's stupid. And they shouldn't do that. But then like in ways that it can work, like reading a bunch of documents and like transposing it in a certain way or whatever, organizing letters. I don't know. Like people do it to sort mail. They use like AI stuff. That's great. It's fantastic. It saves time. It can leave people able to do more better jobs. But so like there is a bit of concern, but not to the same extent that a lot of people think, or it's not as bad as people think. If that makes sense.
Well, yeah. The best advancements, the best thing that can come from it is just making it do the slave labor, the stuff you don't want to do, so you have more time to do the stuff you do want to do, like art.
Yeah.
Oh
pretty much.
no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like if there was a
AI editing tool where it can just hear what I'm saying. I can press a button. It looks through all of the footage I've gathered and automatically edits the video with like matching footage. There might be like some stuff I'd go in and tweak or edit. But if it worked perfectly, it'd be one of those things where it's like, it's fantastic, it works, but now I don't get to do the editing, which I enjoy doing. And I can't warrant not using it because it's so easy. It's like not using a preset and just making the preset myself when it looks exactly the same. Even if like, it stops being enjoyable because it feels like a waste of time. And that's how I would feel.
That and I would be able to tell you this has nothing to do with your personality, you didn't make it, and I would be right.
Well, you wouldn't know that. What if you couldn't tell?
See, eventually we probably would get to that point, and that'll be a sad day. But
like, I think if at best editing might be able to be like, oh, he talked about Metroid, put Metroid footage. Oh, we talked about Mario, put Mario footage, and I can go in and like add cool edits and I can like add graphs on screen or whatever, or do that. But like the editing will put like the base layer down, or you can cut out dead air, which it can already do, Kafka. But it potentially could cut out a lot of time in editing, a lot of the boring bits, so I can just go in and do the creative bits. Should we do that? I don't know.
I've been watching a few like film analysis channels lately, and I always knew that there's a lot that can go into a film, but I never quite understood just how many decisions you could potentially go into every last little scene and shot.
Oh, I do.
Right.
With the April Fools video, so much thought went into everything.
Right. It starts to. I'm starting to realize that more, and how it can make it just so much better when you think about doing every last thing about it, which of course is not the most efficient. It doesn't make as much money and all of that stuff. But it's not ideally that doesn't always work. But I do also I would like to point out that is the ideal. Like everyone wants to create something like that, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that was a good ending question.
Yeah, that.
What even was the ending
question?
The Tetris. Should Tetris count?
Yeah, how did we get here?
That's what it was. I don't know.
By the way, Tetris should not. Okay, they all are the same versions. Like Wacko convinced me, but they should not be number one. Well, I guess they have to be number one sales. It just bugs me. Okay, the Tetris is number one. And they're counting all the different releases of it as all the sales.
I say we don't count Tetris or Minecraft. What's next up? What's the next thing on the list?
Isn't it like GTA?
Something like that.
Or was it Wii Sports?
But like, the reason is because of all those other series below it that they counted only just that entry.
They shouldn't. Well, most of them only have one entry.
Well, a lot of Mario and Pokemon make it into the top selling, and you don't see those. The entire sales of the entire franchise being counted for those.
Yeah. When you look at Mario Kart 8, it counts Wii U and Switch.
Does it actually? Okay, but it doesn't count all Mario Kart games. You see what I'm saying?
I know, because all Mario Kart games have different controls and physics and courses. Tetris is all the same shape board, same shape pieces, same speed, same everything.
But there's been more.
We're not getting back into this
modes
time
of Tetris over the years than there have Mario Kart. The more different gameplay variations.
Surely Tetris on the
Minecraft.
Game Boy controls a little differently than like Tetris on the 3DS or something.
There's a couple things like if you hit the ground in like modern Tetris, if you hit the ground and you keep spamming the rotate button, it'll keep rotating. Where in classic Tetris, it would just stop. It would hit the ground and like immediately stop. You can't control it anymore. So there's like some easy stuff, like some tweaks and changes, but the base is still the
this
same.
Is a good ending question.
Okay, actually, I'm using Wikipedia, which everyone knows is the best source. Tetris is not on here. Where is Tetris?
So, well, clearly
maybe you're looking
Okay,
at it differently,
okay.
Like they changed it.
No, they got backlash.
From people like me, let's go. We bullied people.
Yes, Tetris
Let's
has
go.
been moved 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. It's the 28th on the list. You know what it says?
What?
It says Game Boy in quotation or in parentheses. What did I say? It says Tetris Game Boy.
So who's the real winner after all this time?
So what you're saying is you bullied Wikipedia into changing how they count this. Minecraft's still the top. Not Minecraft Bedrock, not Minecraft Java, not Minecraft Xbox One Edition. Minecraft. Platforms, multi-platform. Huh?
Okay, what's the closest one up that was released once, just one game?
Okay. Well, the next game is Grand Theft Auto 5, which is on everything. The game after that, only on one console. Guess what it is?
Mm-hmm.
Wii Sports.
Take a guess. Wii Sports. It's
Yeah.
Wii Sports.
Okay, and I don't know.
But that's a pack and
different
tile. It
is-
don't count.
How different is Grand Theft Auto 5 between different consoles?
What makes What
They're
makes
the
it a
same.
pack-in title not count?
I don't
There
know.
you go. You're being illogical.
People
There you
go out
go,
of the way to
wacko.
People, that's not illogical. That's reasonless. There's a difference. It might be illogical. I don't think it feels different because when you're asking what's the most sold game, you're like, what game did people go out and buy the most? People didn't go out and buy Wii Sports. They went out and bought a Wii.
If you want to make a distinction for that, you can, and there should be multiple separate versions of these lists.
Scrolling down, not multi-platform, one release on one platform, not a pack and tile. Do you know what the highest release is?
What?
Animal Crossing: New Horizons.
That's interesting. It's not. I thought it'd be like Super Mario Brothers.
I
or-
know. See, this is why. Well, where's Super Mario? Super Mario Bros. Is multi-platform. Yeah, they do count all the releases of Mario.
Wow. I mean, they're
Dang.
counting like
Yeah,
all
see,
the.
this is
versions
what's
of the
interesting.
Stone video, probably.
when you break it down to just one release on one console, you get interesting statistics. This is why it's interesting to find out this stuff.
Yeah, I
Animal
feel like we
Crossing.
just
Great.
need to
You know how many
separate.
copies sold?
I feel like we just need to separate these lists. Like, I mean, you don't categorize like a 16-star Mario 64 speedrun with like a glitchless 100% speedrun or something.
yeah.
Like, it's
There needs to be separate versions of this, which Wikipedia isn't going to do it. But
I suppose.
I
I don't know if Wikipedia does.
what was that? Oh yeah, but I just random fact about how much much Animal Crossing New Horizons sold. Apparently, it's the highest selling game in the country of Japan. So
Oh my gosh.
jeez.
I mean that I can't say I'm terribly surprised.
Yeah, that game was huge. Back in the day.
They bought Mario Kart 8 Deluxe is the most sold Switch game. The Japanese people bought New Horizons more than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe.
Do you know what baffles me about this list?
What?
Terraria
Oh, yeah, that's
or Terraria.
okay. How do that?
Like that was
Yeah, how do they
popular.
categorize that?
But this popular? How? I didn't think it was this big.
I mean, it's not as big now, but
it's sold more than the original Mario Bros.
I can see that. Yeah. I mean,
I didn't know it was that
I don't
big.
think
That's
of games
wild.
like what was it? PUBG. I remember that being at a similar spot to the original Mario Bros.
PUBG, it's higher than Tetris. I mean, higher than Terraria.
Yeah.
This is a cool list. There's a reason people talk about this thing. Oregon Trail's up here. It's because it's on everything. Pokemon Red, Blue, Green, and Yellow. That's cheating. That's too many copies. Stardew Valley, good game. Sonic the Hedgehog? Really? I didn't know it was this high.
Yo, what's that doing?
When is the podcast ending?
Yeah, we could go on for another hour.
I'm
like,
g-
it has to stop
I feel like
eventually.
Simon Cat.
I have the perfect idea.